Hi, welcome back to All is Fair in Toys, Pop Culture, and Movies. Today I thought it would be fun to take a look at Han Solo's top outfits he wore throughout the Star Wars series. I counted about seven of those as his staples, and let's take a look. I did do Luke a couple weeks ago, link in the description below. Let's get started. So, coming in at number seven, Han Solo in his white shirt. Yep, plain white shirt. It's not a bad look. It's definitely one that he's known for. In fact, I don't actually have a great example. I don't think they made it in the Black series. I know there's some iterations that they've made in figure form, but that's one I don't have a good example of. Just plain white shirt. That's there's not much else to say about that. That's why he comes in at number seven. But coming in at number six, and I thought it would be fun to include this because for Luke, we only did the original series, but for Han, we're going to go into the sequel series as well because, well, there's not that many outfits that Han wore, as you know. So here is Han Solo in The Force Awakens, wearing his iconic jacket and kind of his brown pants here. The reason why this comes in at number six is because it's just kind of a rehash of the costumes that he's worn throughout the original trilogy, kind of doing an homage to that. So there's really nothing new here. I know that they were going what they were going for. They were trying to do the nostalgia factor, but in this case, I thought maybe they could have done something a little more different, right? In the Han Solo story, he was wearing kind of a lighter brown jacket, which was a cool look. I'm not including that because that wasn't Harrison Ford, but you could have mixed it up just a bit instead of giving us something that looked a little too familiar. So coming in at number five, we're going Return of the Jedi, Han Solo in trench coat, and Endor. So one thing I want to say is that it definitely is Han Solo. The whole trench coat thing, I think, fits his smuggler personality, and then underneath there, he's just got the regular vest and white shirt. But the reason why this comes in so low is because is because in Return of the Jedi, you have a plethora of different Endor outfits, like the ponchos and the cool gear that the troopers wore. And this is just kind of a little plain for me. Not saying it's not Han Solo. It's just nothing too new or eye catching. So number five for Endor. Coming at number four is going to be probably his most well known look. I call it kind of the cowboy look, right? He's in the saloon there in the cantina. He's got kind of that cowboy sheriff outfit on with the vest and the white shirt and the holster at his side with his pistol there. First time we see him, we get it. He's a smuggler. He's rogue. He's cool, and I definitely like the look. I think there is a couple more which we'll talk about, which outdo this and give him more of a cooler personality. But for starters, when we're introduced to him in A New Hope, and I think he wears this pretty much for the whole film, it's definitely one of those that, classic. You close your eyes, this is what I think of Han Solo as. So number four, but very cool. Coming in at number three and sticking with A New Hope, and I actually didn't have a Black series of this one, so I do apologize. But I thought it would be fun to pull out the 1995, was it Kellogg's cereal giveaway, Han Solo and Stormtrooper. So the reason why I rank this a little bit higher than him and his vest is because they're really into the adventure now. They're in the Death Star. He has some really cool moments. Some of his best moments in the trash compactor and blasting the console when the Imperial trooper wants to know, hey, what's going on in there? And he's like, everything's fine. Just, some of my favorite Han Solo scenes, which is why Han Solo and Stormtrooper rank so high. And it's just the way Harrison Ford looks in the Stormtrooper outfit is just classic, in my opinion. Coming in at number two, and this one I know is not, he's only in this for a short while on Hoth, but this really stuck with me because I think when I, first saw The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, it was one of those movies where I was really looking forward to seeing the characters again. And Han Solo had sort of become my favorite at that point, and introducing him with the hood and that thick jacket, and he's still got his, holster at his side. Um, I just thought this is classic Han Solo, the way he would look on a cold planet. He's not dressed like anybody else. He's going for his own look, his own style, and the hood gives him that mystique a little bit. I don't know. I just had this one as a kid, so I want to show you this. Um, and obviously they had the blue jacket as opposed to the brown jacket because it was some, trying to make the decision of which color it looked like, because on film it kind of looked like either one from time to time. But I carried this one around a lot, and just have a lot of fond memories of this. So that's why he's coming in at number two. Always love the Hoth battles and stuff. So definitely a favorite. Coming in at number one for Han Solo is this guy right here, Mr. Han Solo, in one of my favorite movies. But I digress. Coming in at the real number one is Han Solo in Bespin outfit. I think this is, like, to me, what I call the Fonzie look. Happy Days was big back in the day. I really enjoyed Fonzie, and he just has that, that kind of like bad boy look with the swagger, and you can tell he's kind of evolving into this really like confident character at this point. And also the jacket, because he's on Hoth, he's on Bespin, which look kind of cold. And to be honest with you, a little side story here: when I first saw Empire, it was at the Egyptian theater, and it was very cold in that theater. I remember just feeling like, wow, this is really cold. Even and Hoth and Bespin made it seem even colder, and just seeing him in that jacket, I don't know, made a lot of sense to me. But I also want to tie number one with Han Solo and Carbonite, and the reason why this is tied at number one is because, well, I don't know if it's really a look for Han, but I remember in Empire I was a little bit traumatized when they froze him, because he was my favorite character. So we're definitely not going to say it's necessarily his look, because it's just a chunk of brick. But I've always been just kind of trying to collect as much Carbonite Han as I can, just because it's one of my favorite moments in the films. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that look at Han Solo and his 7 costumes on our countdown. And like, subscribe, and I really appreciate the views, and have a great day. Thank you very much.